Showtime.
Bro, Chris Paul has better handles than AI.
Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, man, welcome back. Brand new episode here, the Youngbouls Podcast. Happy Thanksgiving break to everybody. Happy Thanksgiving if you're celebrating. I'm pretty sure it's everyone, but it's your boy Dinari here. It's your boy Dinari here. Jay, say what's up to the people, man.
What's up? What's up?
Yeah, it's been a minute since you've done an episode. I believe the last episode that we did, or the last one that me and Jalen were both on, was after the election. So, you can see why we had to take a break afterwards. But yeah. But yeah, let's get started, man. First off, Jay, since speaking of the election, you saw who Trump has been put in office most recently, Linda McMahon from WWE. Jalen, how you feeling about everything that's going on, man?
It's definitely a lot of hand-selected people. He's creating new roles for his people to get into as well. So he's really just trying to get all the Trump loyalists in.
Yeah.
You can really see it there.
Nah, it's gonna be a mess, man. It's gonna be a mess. Like I said, there's people who are in his, cabinet who have no experience at all. Elon Musk, dude, wasn't even in a political office or political, occupation before Trump got in office, and now he's being tasked with doing something that.
And it was a created role. So like I said,
it's
it's a very new created role specifically for him, just so he can get in the office.
It makes absolutely no sense, man. Obviously, like I said before, with the podcast and stuff, with Trump being in office again, what we're gonna do is, we're just gonna be following it. So there's any news and stuff going on and stuff like that, we're gonna talk about it on here. So, just stay tuned with that. Well, let's get into the real steak and potatoes of the episode, man. Obviously,
real meat and potatoes. Talk to us, Dino.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm a Sixers fan. You guys know this. Jalen's a Commanders fan. Jalen's a Wizards fan as well, but I digress. I'm a Sixers fan. Before the season, I had a video about, after we got Paul George saying that we were going to win the East this year, we were going to go to the championship.
And that was a good one.
We were going to do all this stuff this season, and that this is the best time for Sixers fans to get excited. 2 months after that, I'm pretty sure it was 2 or 3 months after that video, which is this month. Sixers are currently, last time I checked, 3-13.
Terrible.
Paul George has been injured twice. Embiid has only played maybe 3 games on the season.
He played 4.
4 games on the season. My bad.
As an Embiid hater, I had to know. I just looked it up actually.
Okay. 4 games on the season,
and he's lost all 4. Let me say that.
He's lost all 4. You didn't have to do that. He's lost all 4 games on the season. The signings of, Caleb Martin and Eric Gordon, which, I still don't understand why we signed him. But, it's not really working like that. Youngbouls has been a bright spot, but our starting trio, our big three, hasn't had that much time to play with each other. So we don't even know how they mesh on the court. We've had Maxey call out Embiid in player meetings. Embiid has been getting challenged by his teammates because he's always late for everything. And now Embiid is saying that, we've had issues with Embiid not playing back-to-backs and things like that. So before I say anything, Jalen, how do you want to assess the team? I know you've been waiting for this waiting to say some stuff about this
for quite some
time. You've had no problem sending me stuff about Embiid being trash and stuff like that outside the podcast, when we've seen each other in person. So what do you have to say about everything that's been going on, Jalen?
I want to say that, first off, the Sixers roster is not bad at all. But the problem is we have a superstar you guys have a superstar on your team.
Thank you.
Who doesn't want to, I don't know how to explain it, but it's he's not there. He's not fully committed as far as with the team and stuff like that. And he does have the right goal in mind. He wants to be the best player in the NBA. He wants to win the championship. But, injuries is also a part of it. But he's I don't know. It doesn't seem like he's really working to get there.
He's not.
And with the news coming out about Tyrese Maxey checking him in the team meetings, and just the history in general, like with him in the locker room and stuff like that, it just really seems like I mean, yes, he wants to win, but he's like I don't know how to explain, like a selfish winner. I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, I see a big problem with Embiid, and he needs to be. Well, you guys had your opportunity to trade him, but didn't take it. And I did say that. I did say that. Should have traded him.
Yeah.
And he is stuck on the 76ers for the rest of his career now.
Look, the way I see it, it's like, when people were saying stuff like, oh, you need to trade Embiid, and Embiid's like this, and he's not that. No, I was trying to defend him, like, oh, chill, he's been hurt, stuff like that. With every new thing that comes out about Embiid, it's so hard to defend him as like a fan, because it's like, you can't say that you're trying to win, and it feels like you're not doing, as much as you can to possibly get to that point of winning. Like, take the Olympics, for example. Embiid literally made sure that he was healthy enough to play for the Olympics, to go for the Olympics, to go for gold, to help.
And he was playing back to backs.
And he was playing back. He was playing back to backs. He was playing back to backs, and he was, playing a lot. So, doing that, playing in the Olympics, and you're telling me at the beginning of the season that you have to sit out because you're getting treatment for your knee and stuff like that. I understand you're 7 foot, but that doesn't add up, because you know who else played in the Olympics? LeBron. You know who else played in the Olympics?
Oh my goodness,
Kevin Durant. So it's like they're older than you, and they're ready to go as the season is starting. And it's like the Olympics ended, I believe, in July, right? July, early August?
yeah. It was like
Okay.
mid, somewhere around there. You're right.
Okay, July, early August. You still have about a month or two before training camp starts, or a month until training camp starts. So, it's things like that where it's like, it's ridiculous. And then with Embiid too, obviously, he had the whole thing with the reporter and stuff like that, who, made the crazy comments about, his, dedication and stuff like that when he was bringing up his deceased brother and his family and stuff like that, which that's totally valid. Like, the way Embiid felt, I understand that. I feel like the 3-game suspension for that, I mean, I don't know if he really gave it to him for that. But for the Sixers, man, I just feel like, like Paul George said in his podcast episode a couple of days ago, which again, is so weird that you're doing this while you're playing. But, I respect it. But like, while you're playing, having Jared McCain, saying that he's the most consistent player, like, you're not a member of that team, is just beyond me. But, to Jared McCain, like, he's been our most consistent player.
That's a dog.
Really, yes. And maybe Maxey too, but Maxey's been hurt. But, Jared McCain has been like a real bright spot on this team that seems like it's struggling. I don't want to say it's, Nick Nurse's fault, because this is like his second season. I'm pretty sure Nick Nurse didn't even expect to be coming into this situation. And considering how the Sixers were last season before Embiid got hurt, before he tore his meniscus, we could have been celebrating a ring last year. So who knows? No, Jay, let's be real. Let's be real.
That was a good one.
No, let's be real. Before Embiid got hurt, Embiid was averaging the most points per game. The Sixers were literally number 1 in the East at one point in time. Had the best record for like a month span. No one was stopping them. Once Embiid got hurt, everything went downhill for the Sixers last year.
Also, the Boston Celtics were the best team in basketball last season.
We could have beaten the Celtics. We beat the Celtics at home last year.
We're talking about we're not gonna get there.
Okay.
We're not gonna get
Okay,
there.
but
we saw what the Celtics did.
I feel like another thing that messed up this team too, that it's not really talked about a lot, is this team has been known since the Ben Simmons days when it comes to getting star talent, that they try to shoot for the fence every time it comes to getting star talent. We did it with Jimmy Butler. We messed up by not keeping Jimmy Butler. We decided, you know what? It's fine. We're going to go ahead and get 30-plus-year-old Al Horford and Josh Richardson, and that's going to help us.
Some good vets.
Yeah.
You got to think, though, Al Horford got a ring in 2 years.
Dude, like, but like,
you got to think.
No, but you got to understand. I get that. But at the same time, though, there's no way that you're telling me that the starting 5 of the 2020 Sixers team, that COVID team, with Simmons, with Embiid, with Horford, with Richardson, with Tobias Harris equals championship. Like that was
Not at
sick.
all.
Like that was sick. And you saw it with Harden. You saw it with now you're just going out and getting Paul George. And it's like at the beginning of the process, the whole purpose of it was for the Sixers to have a core group, which they built, got from the draft and stuff like that. And that they just see the youth grow. Like, you had Simmons, you had Embiid. That was it right there. That was the 1-2 punch right there. And yes, I get it. Game 7 against the Hawks when he passed the ball. I totally understand. But I still feel like in my heart of hearts that we messed up by trading him away. I feel like we messed up by trading him. Or it's either with that or with the Harden thing itself. Because, it's just a whole lot of, stuff going on. And then with Daryl Morey, man, just who he's bringing in, like Eric Gordon and Montrezl Harrell and then Mo Bamba and all this stuff, it's like it's not helping us win. And, even with him bringing in PJ Tucker, who saved us in that one playoff game, it's like I don't know what our direction is when it's coming to who we're trying to bring in to help us win games, man. And that's a huge problem. And then also too, another thing is that we don't want to put all the blame on Embiid because all the blame isn't on Embiid, but some of it is on him. Some of it is on Embiid for sure. Jalen, it seems like you want to say something. You're smiling over there, chin to chin. So go ahead.
Well, speaking of the PJ Tucker thing, I feel like PJ Tucker was really one of the only veterans that was able to like keep Embiid accountable, and he would like really get on Embiid.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like what's your owner name? Morey, Daryl
Yeah,
Morey.
Daryl Morey.
He's trying to bring in these veteran players in order because of your young talent. You guys have Jared McCain, Tyrese Maxey. You got to get a little bit of young talent, and I feel like
Mm-hmm.
he's trying to bring in these veterans to mentor and shape this young talent as well as help them, and it's just really
But it's
not
like it's
working.
too many veterans. You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
we already got Kyle Lowry. What are we bringing in Eric Gordon for? And then also too, why in the world is Eric Gordon starting? Eric
you guys are
Gordon
injured. You guys are
and,
injured.
and Eric Gordon's opening night. Eric Gordon had 2 points and played 36 minutes. So what do we? So it's like I don't know what we're doing. And also to your point too, when you're talking about PJ Tucker, the whole Jimmy Butler, fiasco thing was just it's terrible, man. With the Sixers, the way that they handled that whole Jimmy Butler thing was absolutely terrible. There's a lot of canned events for the Sixers when it comes to how they've handled off seasons, how they handle trades and stuff like that. But that Jimmy Butler off season after they lost it to the Raptors in the playoffs was probably one of the worst, one of the worst things the Sixers could have done in that situation. This whole 5-year stretch would have been totally different if we would have kept Jimmy Butler after that offseason. And the one thing about Jimmy Butler, people may not like him, people may not love him, but he's a winner. And his first year in Miami, he showed us why he's a winner. He got them to the finals, And so it's just like with the Sixers, I just don't understand it because you get year after year, you get all these pieces. You've had all-stars such as Harden come in. You've had all-stars with, Paul George and stuff like that. And it's like, we still can't find a way to get over the hump. And it's like, it's not a coaching, it could be a coaching thing, but some of that has to fall on the players as well, man, because the fans are not loving it. And now we're about to be in a situation where we're about to have $5 Tuesday promotions and like tanking for Cooper, tanking for
Oh
Flag.
no, you're not there yet. You're not
Yeah,
there. That's all us. That's all us. That's all us.
we're currently the worst team in the league. So, and
No,
y'all
I
have
think
more.
we might be a half a game in front of y'all, but that's gonna change.
You know how sad that is? Like for us, like
Oh yeah, that's terrible.
it's terrible, man.
But
Yeah,
can I say something? Speaking of the fans, I feel like with the fans giving Embiid all the leeway y'all did,
thank
like you said, how you said like you was always defending him, and I know
you.
like me as an Embiid hater, an avid Embiid hater, it was more so not about Embiid, but it was more so how much the fans like admire him because like it was clear like to a point he was holding back the team a little bit. Like his usage rates was through the roof,
Yeah.
and I mean it was some games where he wasn't performing at all, and just the way you guys kept him on a pedestal, it was like he's clearly the problem. Can you guys open your eyes?
No, like even I'm not gonna lie. Like even looking at the year that he won MVP, man, it felt like it's every year it's like an injury thing with Embiid. You get what I'm saying? Like every year.
Mhm.
And I feel like the problem is with the Sixers, or at least with the training, or at least with whoever's in charge of ramping him back up and stuff like that. Like they rush him. You get what I'm saying? Like they're rushing him to get back. The meniscus thing last year, he tore that. If he would have just taken his time, worst case scenario, we would have been a playing team or whatever, and we would have or either missed the playoffs last year completely. For him to be healthy coming into this season, it does not help that you get rushed back for the playoffs. You do what you can, but you injure other people in the process. You end up hurting yourself more in the playoffs, while in the series against the Knicks, and then you come back for the Olympics. And then you're over here treating this like it's a finals game 7. I mean, yeah, I get it. Like you're trying to win gold, but come on, man, chill. Like we got a whole 82 game season. And then you coming into the season saying, I'm not going to play back to backs. It's like, who do you think you
And
are?
also, a comment he made is like he said he's done everything he could for the city or something like that. It was something along those lines,
Yeah,
and
or
I,
no, he said,
that
yeah.
was bad. That
No,
was bad.
it's not good optics at all, because I remember not last year, but I think it was either the first season that Butler was in Miami. The fans were booing Embiid because I don't think Embiid was playing well. And Embiid said something to the fans' credit. He was like, oh, like stay on that side or something like that. Like he said something. And I remember Butler commented on this post and he was like, I know a place where you can be the villain or whatever like that. You remember that? Or no?
Not really, but I think I do remember what you're talking about actually.
Yeah. And, people thought that meant that Embiid was going to leave Philly and stuff like that. And he was like, nah, I'm a troll. We want to get this thing figured out. And it's like now, it's like I have that whole same thing going on, again right now. And I just don't know what to think, man, because Embiid, when he's healthy and when he's on it, he's a solid player. But when he's not playing to the best of his abilities, especially looking at it from a front office aspect, after you just give him a whole bag, it's nuts. It's nuts. Like, the Sixers have been known to give terrible contracts. Ben Simmons extension, the Tobias Harris extension, that Al Horford's contract. They've been known to give like terrible contracts, man. But when you have your star player sitting up here, saying he's not gonna play back to backs, and after everything I've done for the city, it's like, what you mean, man? If
Embiid has quite some more on his contract.
yeah, but
He's not a free agent until 2029.
oh my gosh,
Good Lord, y'all done. Y'all are done.
No, and then also too, like, to your credit, when he's saying like after everything he's done for the city and stuff like that, it's like, Joel, like let's keep it a stack, man. Let's keep it a stack.
You haven't sniffed the Eastern Conference Finals.
We have been a perennial, bona fide second round playoff team since you've been here. We have not reached the finals. We have not reached a conference finals. We have gone through 3 coaches. We, you got some all-stars. You've been an all-star your whole career. Shout out to you. 70 points. Shout out to you. But team success, we don't have that. And it's like, I would understand if AI would have said something like Allen Iverson back in his day. He would have said, after everything I've done for the city. AI got us to a finals. You get what I'm saying? AI took a game against the Lakers. So I can understand that. I would understand if Bryce Harper said, after everything I've done for the city. Bryce Harper turned the Phillies team that was perennial garbage to a one of the top teams in the National League. They can't stop the Dodgers, but it's one of the top teams in the National League. World chance. I had to just put that out there. But with Embiid, it's just like, you can't say stuff like that, man. Because now it just comes off as you just not
arrogant.
Not being accountable, and as Jay says, I can't believe I'm agreeing with him with this, but being arrogant, and it's not a good look for you, man. So yeah, Jay, you got anything else you want to say, man?
Get rid of Embiid if you can.
Yeah, that's not happening, man. We had our
Yeah,
chance. We,
you're stuck. We're stuck
we
for
had our
quite some
chance to
time.
get rid of. We had our chance to get rid of Embiid, and it's just seeing a lot of people saying, "Oh, trade Embiid, build around Max and McCain," and it's like we can't. We had our chance to get rid of him, and also too to the front office. This is my message: stop going after aging stars, man. Like, please, stop doing that. It's like it's not helping us. You went after a 31-year-old James Harden, and then you went after a 35-year-old Paul George. That's not going to help us win the title. These players are definitely out of their primes. They're not in their primes anymore. And yeah, they show glimpses and flashes, but at the end of the day, it's not going to help us in the long haul. So stop going after aging stars, please. I beg. And I think the Sixers, I'm not saying the Sixers season is over, but I will say this. If the Sixers get to 20 losses before we get to 10 wins,
You coming up close.
if the Sixers get to 20 losses before we get to 10 wins, then they need to go ahead and do that $5 Tuesday thing, man. They need to start doing some more
You
cheap
guys,
promotions.
you guys are half a game in front of us. You guys are 3-13, and we're 2-13. But I think we have a game today. Yeah, we have a game in an hour and 15 minutes.
Let's see. It's just
But speaking of the Wizards, let's talk about capture the flag. Let's talk about capture the flag.
go ahead, Jay.
We're
Go
tanking
ahead.
well. We're doing our tanking job right now. One thing I do have an issue with is we are giving our veterans more playing time than our rookies, even though our
Oh,
rookies have been going through the
Koulibaly is
roof.
nice for y'all. Koulibaly is nice
Oh,
for
most
y'all.
definitely. Is that most improved? Maybe, potentially, possibly.
Koulibaly,
He could win it. He could win it. Most improved.
yeah, Koulibaly is doing his thing. He's like the new Kawhi. I saw in an interview the other day. He said that he could tell his defense getting better because he stops respecting like his opponents and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, he's gonna be a dog. I like I like Koulibaly, and Jordan Poole seems like he's finding his stride. He's playing better. The one thing I will say for you guys that is holding y'all back from just true tanking is Kyle Kuzma.
Oh, most
Now
definitely, most
now
definitely.
look
We need to
now
ship
look
him off as soon as possible.
now look. Kuzma in 2021, I believe 2021. That little season when y'all were at the 1 seed for a couple of weeks. He was cool for y'all. It was cool. Yo, Kuzma. It's bad, man. It's bad. It's bad.
I feel like okay. Well, one thing I've noticed is Bub Carrington. Ever since Kuzma stepped back on the floor, his production has gone down. Just more specifically because Kuzma is like a little bit more ball dominant. But
mhm.
once we ship Kyle Kuzma off by the trade deadline, which we're looking to do,
Y'all need to.
um, we should be fine. We're gonna be fine. We got all our rookies. We got
Who's your head
uh
coach again?
Brian Keefe,
All right.
Coach Keefe. Come
All
on, man,
right.
be humble, be humble, be humble.
I actually didn't know who that was, but all right, word. But yeah, shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to y'all.
Capture the flag. It's looking beautiful. Capture the flag is looking beautiful, man.
So on the one hand, you have Jalen, who is optimistic about tanking, happy about it, looking forward to getting the top 3 pick. And on the other
Of
hand,
course.
you have, and then I just realized too, if we don't finish in a good enough spot, our draft pick is going to go to Oklahoma City. So we don't even get to. so we don't even
Womp
get
womp.
to. So we don't even get to go and get Cooper Flag and stuff like that. So we're basically tanking for nothing. So yeah, I guess, man, it's upsetting. But speaking of Washington teams, man, Jalen, that's not the only Washington team that's you're being
Let's not
optimistic
do
about.
that.
What you
Oh
mean?
yeah, yeah, oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I thought you
yeah.
were
What
going to
you
talk
mean?
about losses. I thought you were going to talk about losses. Oh, of course, of course. My Washington Commanders are doing amazing this year. Last season we were what 4-13, 4-12, whatever we were. And this year we're now 7-5, but lost 3 straight games. But we got a few injuries, a few close losses, a few devastating losses, and there's still positivity, there's still optimism
Do
because
you
we're
think
definitely gonna.
you think you guys are gonna make the playoffs?
That's a tough one because the NFC North. I feel like all 3 of those teams can make the playoffs.
They could.
Um,
That
what's
loss,
it-
that loss against Dallas messed you guys up for sure.
oh, most definitely. I think we've lost.
And the
No,
Pittsburgh,
we've only lost one game. We only won one game after the Hail Mary.
yeah,
The Pittsburgh loss was devastating. We lost about 1 point. to a first down that they didn't want to give us. And then the Dallas loss. Oh my gosh. Our kicker, Austin Seibert, left 5 points on the field. We wouldn't have been in a situation where we had an onside kick, Austin Eckler dies on the field. None of that would have happened if our kicker just made his extra points and his field goal. We would have won the game. It was just terrible, man.
On the other note, though, Jaden Daniels is having a solid season, man.
He is. He had a really good game. The 2 interceptions he did throw, one was taken from a wide receiver, and the other was a Hail Mary at the end of the game that got intercepted. So those interceptions don't count. Let's be real. Those
yeah.
interceptions don't count.
So, Commander 7-5, and then you got the Saints, man, 2-0 with our new head coach. 2-0 with our new head coach, 4-7, I believe. Somehow, someway, we still have a shot to making the playoffs. Atlanta keeps losing.
The division is terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah, we're somehow, some way, still in the hunt for making a playoff spot. I'm looking at the standings right now. Let's see. Right now, we are currently 4-7. The Bucks are 5-6, and the Falcons are 6-5. If we win next week, we will be tied for second. And if the Falcons keep losing, we're going to end up being first place in the division and making the playoffs. Did I expect this season to go this way? Absolutely not. After the 2 games at the beginning of the season, as I keep telling Jay, I expected us to totally be in the Super Bowl. I thought we were going to be legit. I thought we were going to be doing all this winning this year. Once that Eagles game happened, I had to wear that Eagles jersey. Everything just went downhill from there. We lost 7 straight, including one of the teams that we lost to were the Panthers. Then we lost to the Broncos, and then not the Eagles, the Chiefs. They turned back the clock on us, and it's just not good. So to see us having some sort of success is good. To see us winning games is good, but I'm tired of us tanking, man. We haven't seen a playoff. Like, I'm being honest, man. Like, we haven't seen a playoff since Drew Brees has been here. And it's been too many seasons where we would have to have, week 17 playoff scenarios for us to get in. And it's like, why can't we just be good throughout the whole season where we don't have to worry about that? So, with the Saints, man, if we do make the playoffs, it's nice. But I kind of just want us to stay, out of it so we can get a high draft pick. Right now, they have us at number 9. I want us to go get Shadur, but I know we're not going to get Shadur because I know Shadur is going to be gone by then. But I want us to get somebody good, man, because I swear if we get another offensive tackle or a right guard or something like that, I'm going to be sick. We need some offensive players. And Derek Carr needs to go, man. I'm sick. And also, too, I don't even know why I'm ranting like this, but, it doesn't take you 7 losses for us to decide, you know what, let's go ahead and get rid of Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen should have been gone long before we lost 7 games this season, man.
Most definitely. And I just checked the playoff picture. We are currently last on the wild card. We're still in the playoff picture. We're still projected to make the playoffs. But if we keep winning games, we're going to elevate. It's just that NFC North division is doing their thing. They got 3 teams in the playoffs. So
yeah, and also too, I can't believe I'm saying this, man, but shout out to the Eagles, man. Saquon Barkley.
Oh my goodness. Bro.
Yeah, the Giants fans, man. I don't know what you guys. Yeah, I know you guys are hurt because he was doing this for y'all, but he wasn't doing this to this level for y'all.
Yeah, he's never had an offensive line like this, and we might potentially get a non-quarterback MVP this year, which is
I hope so.
Outrageous to say.
I hope so because Saquon's been playing better than almost any quarterback I've been seeing playing this season, with the exception of maybe Lamar. But yeah, Saquon has been doing this thing. I'm pretty sure he had 250 yards, something like that.
255 rushing yards. Yeah. Goodness me, man, that was crazy to see. He took back 270 yards. And then I think he had a 60-yarder too or something like that.
Yeah, so
he was running, bro. He was running that ball.
If the Eagles keep playing like they're playing now, they're going to be they're going to be playing in February for sure. But I will say the one thing that the Eagles need to just make sure that just because I feel like it's the same story with different seasons. They'll have success and stuff like that, but there's always that time where the Eagles either let their foot off the gas or they just stop playing to their identity and stuff like that, and it just. It self-destructs the team. So, with the Eagles, it's just the whole thing of just continue to be playing the way that they're playing because the last thing you guys want to do is to, trip and stumble into the postseason again, and then you guys are getting blown out to a team such as the Buccaneers or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now, look, I'm not sitting up here saying that, I want the Eagles to win the Super Bowl, but I low-key want to go back to Center City again. So if you guys want to do that, go ahead, but we'll see. But, I still think the NFC runs through Detroit, though.
Oh, most definitely, most definitely.
Detroit
That is
has
the best
been
team in football right now. They've
Detroit,
been blowing
even
teams out
with
left and right.
losing Aiden Hutchinson on the year, they have been the most complete team. I don't even remember the last time the Lions lost a game. But they have been
Week 2 to the Buccaneers.
Week two.
Hey, easy bake.
Yeah, but they have been the most complete team all season. They have been blowing out opponents. The defense has been scary, even with, like I said, the loss of Aiden Hutchinson. They're just finding a lot of success.
And the worst part is, if they go deep in the playoffs, like, he might come back. Let me see. Aiden Hutchinson return.
Because he broke his leg, right? Or was it an ACL?
No, I think he might not come back. I think with a full snap, it was fibula.
Oh.
Maybe not. Let's see. Return. Okay, so if they make the Super Bowl, he might come back for the Super Bowl. Oh, I lied.
Yeah, so it's definitely interesting. Obviously, with the Lions coming up, they have Chicago, and then they got the Packers the following week. But they definitely look like they're going to be NFC North champs again. I feel like at this point, all the other teams are just playing for a playoff spot. But yeah, man, it's just looking real good for Detroit right now. They should have been in the Super Bowl last year. I still stand on that. They just sold that game away last year, but they definitely are going to make a case to being there this year. And I low-key hope we get a Lions-Eagles, NFC Championship match because...
Well, that would be a spectacular 10 out of 10 game. I would love to watch that football game.
That would be a shootout, especially in Philly, too. That would
be... shootout? It wouldn't be in Philly. It'd be in Detroit.
Well, I mean, barring if the Lions lose any more games, it could be in Philly. And the Eagles mess around and get the 1 seed. That would be interesting. That would be interesting.
Regardless, I doubt it'd be a shootout. I feel like it'd be more of a defensive game. Simply because both defenses have been doing good recently.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to see both offense struggle against good defenses. So
I feel you. So yeah, man, that's what we got going on with the NFL and stuff like that. We're gonna be keeping tabs on that for sure. Before we get to the real main course, music wise and stuff like that, as Temple students, we missed the, obviously we haven't done a podcast episode in a minute, but Jalen, what's your thoughts on head coach of Temple football getting fired after?
I believe it was you that sent me a TikTok on it or something.
Yeah.
It was you? Is there so much going on with the athletic director as well as the new president, as well as, I don't know, man. It doesn't look good for Temple football at all. We may, within the next few years, lose the football program.
Like entirely?
Completely.
You think it's
entirely.
You think we're gonna do that for sure?
Depending on what the athletic director and the president decide to do. They just fired the coach, so they're obviously looking for a head coach. And who wants to be a head coach of a descending football team? It's hard to look at, man.
Bro,
I believe in the TikTok. I'll go ahead.
I was saying, because I remember you saying, we've had these as Temple, we've had these conversations a lot about the football team and stuff like that. And the thing about the football team is, if you see them play, it's not like we're bad, but it's I don't know. It's it's not like we're really bad per se, but it's we just don't recruit well. You get what I'm saying?
One of the problems with that is the athletic director and the TikTok you sent me. I did analyze it a little bit, did a little bit of research. Our athletic director is firstly super old. So when NIL came around, he wasn't one of the very first ones to
he didn't
welcome it with open arms. Yeah, he turned the other cheek and kept doing what he's been doing. And the problem with that is we couldn't bring in good players because all the good players are going to schools that's giving them NIL, giving them money. They're going where the money is, and that's the problem.
Also, too, to that point, with the research and stuff like that. Like I'm pretty sure for Temple football or just for the athletic teams and stuff like that, we only have one NIL thing, like the tough one. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So it's like, even with that NIL, you're not really getting any like crazy amounts of cash where you would see in comparison to schools like Texas, schools like Georgia, even schools like, UVA
Not
or
even
stuff.
just those schools, but schools in those states.
Yeah, in those states. So it's something like to really look at. Like, cause like I said, man, if you go to a game, I mean, I'm not sitting up here saying it's gonna be close every time, but we're not good, but we're not bad, like really bad either. But it's like, I don't know, man. Obviously, Jalen, has been trying to get me to go to like tons of more Temple football games and stuff like that. Even like my mom, like shout out mom, like she's been telling me like, you school spirit, you got to be out here doing this, and it's like, for what, man? No one, like,
Yeah.
because if you look at the student body and stuff like that, man. Yeah, even the student body is like not really feeling like going to games and stuff like that, coming out and showing support, and it's like, for what, man? What's the purpose of me taking the bus, and going all the way out to Lincoln Financial Field to watch us get blown out?
Yeah, and speaking on that, I've been going to a student football games, but there's some games that like shocked us, like how well we played, and then there's a few was just like, dude, what is the one, what is the play calling? Two, like what are we trying to accomplish here? It's like,
Jalen, what was the game
dude,
we went to this year? Who was the team that like we all went to see this year, man? Against Temple, it was Army, right?
yeah, Army, they
Dude, the whole game they were
quite
doing.
literally walked us down, quite literally walked us.
Dude, the whole game they were doing read options against us,
I
and
mean,
then
but that's Army's identity. Like they just played Notre Dame and ran 8 passing plays and 40 running plays.
I
And that was
believe
just
it.
40 running plays from the quarterback.
I believe
So
it.
like 50 running plays, like that's their identity. And even when they're losing, that's what they run. So
I believe it. And it's like, hopefully it gets better for sure for
mm.
Temple. Hopefully it gets better. Because the way I see it now, it's either we're going to either get better with recruiting and stuff like that, or as not even as a team, but as a athletic group, we're going to just have to shut down the program because we haven't seen success. And like I said, with Temple, we have not always been this way. There's been tons of people who have gone through the Temple football program who's had success. Robbie Anderson, Hall of Famers like Joe Klecko and stuff like that. PJ Walker, who was an XFL legend, and then he came to the Carolina Panthers.
Deion
Yeah,
Dawkins,
Deion
Hassan
Dawkins,
Reddick.
Hassan
There's a
Reddick.
few. Yeah, Rock Ya-Sin.
We
There's a
had
few
a
in the NFL right now. But
we had a draft pick last year who played for
Jordan
Temple.
McGee.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jordan
he went to the
McGee.
Commanders.
Yeah, shout out to him. But and then it's like we hosted game day back in 2019 or 2015. It was one of those two. We hosted college game day.
It wasn't 20. I think it was closer to 2015.
Okay, 2015. 2015. We hosted college game day, and we almost beat Notre Dame at home, and we were packing out the link. So it's like
Completely full.
Yeah. So it's no way that you're telling me that we went from packing out the link to barely even having the lower bowl filled out, man. Like, come on. And it's like as a, it's just like Temple can definitely find ways to have success again, man. But whoever they decide to bring in next, man, it's definitely got to be something where we're really buying into it and stuff like that. Because I'm telling you one thing, it doesn't take you 3 years for, the way that they got rid of Stan Drayton. I just feel like that was wild too, man.
Terrible.
Like,
He just won a game and then
he
he got
won a
fired.
game, and the next day they sacked him, and that's not good. That's not a good way to get rid of somebody. And that's something that you either do at the beginning of the season before the season starts or at the end of the season. You don't do that in the midst of 2 or 3 games left. So
Yeah, and I feel like one of the things we really need to do is we need a new athletic director. We need somebody different looking over football, somebody that's younger, knows what's going on in the college football,
yeah,
area,
because
and that can really push us forward.
I'm saying, because like if this keeps going for like another year or so, or another 2, 3, 4 years, the program's going to be lost. And for any old people who have like watched Temple football and stuff like that, you know, that would suck. You know, I'm not seeing. I mean, I don't. You know, Temple has gone to like plenty of bowl games. Like I said before, we're not a bad school. You get what I'm saying? Like we're not a bad school, but it's just like the situation we're in now. It's just hard for us to like win games and do certain things, man. And like you
And that
said,
goes with basketball too. Like even like Temple was, I think Temple still has like either the fourth or fifth all time
all time winningest
NCAA
program. Yes,
wins,
yes, yes,
and
yes.
like we don't have NIL to give players, and nobody wants to come here because there's no NIL. We're
Bro,
trying
and
to recruit, I mean, get all these head coaches and trying to get recruiter head coaches and people that can draw players. But what's really drawing the players is NIL, and our athletic director doesn't comprehend that. That's the problem.
it's cash too. And yeah, and it sucks because, just in the midst of, with the program and stuff like that, even with basketball, you look at all the players that we had our first year that we went here, and you look at the team that we have now, Jay, and just look at who's left the program. Jaleel White, gone. Damian Dunn, gone. Khalif Battle, gone. Khalif Battle's balling out of Gonzaga right now.
He is balling.
So it's like, you're just seeing like all the players that we used to have on our program and everything like that, and then all the players that we've lost to just being, transferring and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know, man. And at least I would like to see us make the tournament once before we leave, man. At least once. I almost thought we were going to make it last year because we were going through like the conference, the conference tournament and stuff like that, the way we were, and we lost in the championship. But
Yeah, we definitely almost won the AAC. So
yeah, which that would have been insane. But
outrageous.
that would have been crazy. But with this year, man, with Temple basketball, I'm checking their record right now. Obviously, they're still in like
I think we're 4-2, 5-2.
Yeah, we're in non-conference play right now. Right now, we are currently 4-2. So we're hooping right now. We're currently 4-2, man. We're hooping right now. I just hope that we continue to, play well and just have success, man. Because like I said, man, it's nothing better than going to a school and your teams are winning, but when your teams are losing, man, it doesn't do anything and it doesn't make anything fun or anything else. So
Yeah, the sporting events are supposed to be like social events for the students. You come there to get hype, watch your team win, and see other students at the college.
It's not ideal, man, where we go to sporting events, i.e. the Temple Army football game, and we go there. And we
and
show
that was a
up
night game, by the way.
That was a Thursday night football game that I believe it was during the second week of school.
No, Friday night.
That was a Friday night football game? I thought it was a Thursday night game.
No, it was Friday.
All right. So it was a Friday night game. Mind you, no one has school the next day, so everyone's going to be outside. We all come to the game, thinking, oh, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good game, whatever. What fun is it watching your team get blown out by half and then you leaving early, taking the bus home, dejected, man? Like, it's not a good feeling, man. And it's like, I just hope that Temple finds a way with the football and stuff like that to find a way to get people back in the stands and stuff and to get boosters and stuff to start pouring back into the program and everything like that some more. Because, like I said before, we're not a bad team. We're just in a bad situation. And, I mean, to any other student body, tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, like, Jalen, you got anything else you want to say before we...
I feel like the school gets plenty of money for basketball and football. It's not the boosters. It's not. We need NIL money. We need to start giving out NIL. That's the problem.
We
Our
need it.
athletic director is geriatric and doesn't comprehend NIL fully. And we need somebody who's willing to give out NIL so we can recruit good players. That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's all it is. That's really all it is.
Factual. But all right. What do we know? We're just two current students, man. We're just two current students. But moving on, man, to the main event, man. Obviously, Kendrick dropped his album on Friday. A little mixtape, GNX. That's a whole nother thing. But Drake, as recent as today or yesterday, has come out to say that he is suing. And in other news, he said that Steve Lacy was a fragile op. Now, if you haven't been keeping up with the whole Drake Kendrick thing, this started like last May.
Last summer?
Last April, early May. Drake, the whole Like That song with Future and everything like that. and then Drake comes out, makes a song, whatever. This is Kendrick, and then J. Cole somewhere in the middle of all that apologizes, and then he makes a diss song. It's a whole thing. Only thing you really need to know is that Kendrick dropped Meet the Grams. He dropped Not Like Us, and he just dropped like a whole slew of diss tracks, to which Drake wasn't feeling it, and then it's just a whole lot of stuff. So now, in the midst of all this, we've had Drake say some stuff about DeMar DeRozan. We've had Drake, say some stuff about other artists, continue to say stuff about Kendrick, even causing Kendrick to respond through text yesterday saying that he's crazy and laughing and stuff like that. So, Jalen, what's your thoughts about this whole thing, about what Drake is, doing right now? The fall from Arbery. How do you feel about all this, man?
I'm gonna speak my truth. Honestly, I'm a big Drake fan. I love Drake music, but I don't know. I feel like with the him suing UMG, I heard it was more specifically about Kendrick Lamar using like bots and like boosters to promote his song, Not Like Us. And I recently saw a video. I forgot the name. Oh God, what's the dude's name, bro? He's the host of the podcast, the Eggs and Grits podcast, or something like that.
I know it's Deontay.
Yeah, yeah, Deontay. So he mentioned something about this. I want to say earlier this year or late last year, but it was more of Drake realizing that Kendrick might have used bots because Drake used bots or something like that. And it was just something along those lines. And I feel like that's what the situation is. That's what the situation is.
Look, my thing about Drake, man, is I just feel like since the whole diss track, or just the whole beef with Kendrick, man, he's just been going out sadder and sadder with each new thing that he does. Like, I said the DeMar DeRozan thing, but let me just further specify on what he was talking about. A couple of weeks ago at a Raptors game, Drake was there, because, when is Drake not at a Raptors game? Drake was there, and the announcers interviewed him. They were basically like, oh, Vince Carter just got his jersey retired, how do you feel if, DeMar will get his retired and stuff like that? Drake responded, he could have said, oh, that'll be a huge honor. He helped put Toronto on the map, stuff like that. This dude, Drake, comes out and says, if y'all put a DeRozan jersey up in the Raptors, I'll go up there and climb up and take it down myself. Now,
Yeah, that was a bit.
which is the epitome of just being corny, man. Because no matter how you feel about the person, you cannot sit up here and tell me that what DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry, what they meant to the city of Toronto, man.
And first off, what they meant to you literally 10 years ago. Like, you were
literally
really
get
close
a
with
photo
them.
of you with both of them hugging them and stuff like that. Like, that's your kids. So it's nuts. And then obviously it's because DeRozan was in the Not Like Us music video and stuff like that. And obviously with ties to Compton and stuff like that too. But it's like, come on, man. Like, come on, man. Like, the stuff like that is corny. And then with Drake, man, just, how he handled the whole beef with saying that, he planted information, just saying that the information was wrong, to, the misses after misses on the disses and stuff like that, to completely butchering the Auntie Diary song that Kendrick dropped on, Mr. Morale and stuff like that. It's just a whole lot of stuff where it's like, what are you doing, man? And it just gives you such a bad look. And then with you coming out and saying what you said about Steve Lacy, no one has problems with Steve Lacy, man. Steve Lacy's a cool individual. So you just lost a whole nother fan base right there, man, who rocks with, with Steve Lacy and you. So it just completely makes no sense at all. And it's just like, the more and more you continue to talk and do certain things, it just comes off as more sad. And I just don't know what else to say about it, man. It's just like, I used to be a huge Drake fan. And over the course of this past year, just with everything that's been going on, it's kind of like, I don't even know if I rock with dude anymore, man.
I still like your music, though. I still like your music.
I like old Drake, man, but it's like, I don't even know if I can rock with this new form anymore, man. This is terrible. Like, it's not good. And the people who are continuing to enable him and telling him to keep doing this, or you should sue this, or, I mean, look, I'm no rocket scientist. I'm no tech person like that. But the fact that there was millions of people singing Not Like Us at a pop-up show in California last summer, and a lot of people singing that song probably in clubs. Those aren't bots, man.
Yeah,
So
I don't.
those aren't bots, man. And regardless of whether the song is popping up on people's algorithms and stuff like that, man, I mean, they could easily choose to skip it. But in most cases, they're probably not skipping the song. And then relaying it back to the Super Bowl and stuff like that, too. Because I heard this on Rory and Maul episode. They said if Kendrick plays that song in the Super Bowl, man, he's finished. If they allow him to play that song in the Super Bowl, man, he's finished. And it's just a whole lot of stuff. Because now, in the last album, if you didn't listen to the album yet, basically, Kendrick was basically saying how, he saw how Lil Wayne reacted to him being the Super Bowl, halftime show performance, and that he thought that he let Lil Wayne down and everything like that, and all this stuff. Lil Wayne came out and said that, oh, what did I do? I'm happy for your success, but don't wake the demon up and stuff like that. And it's like, I don't think anybody wants to mess with Kendrick at this point in time, man. And look, I like Lil Wayne. I love Lil Wayne, but I wouldn't want to get into this boxing match with Kendrick Lamar, man, especially on the rapping front. So with Drake, man, it's just a whole lot of whack stuff going on, man. And he just continue to show that he's the cornball for that stuff. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I think you said it all. Your music's still good though, Drake.
Yeah, music's still good though. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's still good, man. But I miss 2016 Drake, man. I don't know what this new person is, bro. It's just not good. And it's like, I don't understand like why you're doing stuff like that. That's gonna put you.
I don't understand why he needs to be involved in the first place. I mean, like you could be a billionaire just sitting back making music, bro.
Yes, man. And then it's like the way that Kendrick walked you down and stuff on the beef and everything like that. Like he like Meet the Grams, 616 in LA, and then Not Like Us. The way he walked you down and stuff like that, man, and basically just destroyed you. Let's be real. And then have people singing a song about you and stuff like that. It's nuts, man. And I just don't think that the way you go about that is to say, you know what? Let's sue. Let's keep going. Let's sue this person. Let's do this. Let's do that, man. Because it's like, you just take it and just keep moving on, bro. Because like Jalen just said to his point, you can be a millionaire, a billionaire, have a lot of money, and just sit on the back and just let it go. And it's not a good look, especially when the person on the other side is openly just saying, you know what, you can just come out and just say something else. Please do, because then I can just come out and make more music about you. So I just don't know where you go from here for Drake. And he said that his little album Party Next Door is coming up, and it's like I ain't trying to hear that, man. So I ain't trying to hear that. But yeah, this is gonna be interesting to just follow what Drake's gonna do next, and how much more sad this could either be for Drake and what else. So yeah. Anything else you wanna say? Anything else you wanna say?
I think you wrapped it up perfectly, man. Hopefully we get more new music and on both ends. And just sit back and watch and get entertainment, man.
Definitely with Kendrick, I feel like we're gonna get another album soon, because I saw a lot of people saying that this was more of a mixtape than an album. This was more something just to have, just to get ready for the Super Bowl. Because let's be real, like, I mean, outside of, like, I don't think he's going to play any of his stuff from Mr. Morale at the Super Bowl, because that's like a personal album for him. But I feel like this is something to have just to, get people excited for the Super Bowl and stuff like that. But another thing about Kendrick is that, before every album, he usually has like the heart songs, like the heart part, 6, whatever was his recent one. But that was on this. So people are saying that this right here that's dropped is going to be like a mixtape, and then probably after the Super Bowl or something like that, we're going to get another full-on, album with more features and stuff like that. Because even with the features and stuff on this album, it was more West Coast artists than it was like mainstream artists.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yes, and I didn't even know about him. Jay, you listened to the album yet? You got a favorite song, or you still gotta check it out?
I think I did one run. I gotta go through it a little bit more, but I can't give you a definite song right now.
Now, obviously my favorite song, man, World Champs, Dodger Blue, man. That's my favorite song on the album, bro. That's my favorite song on the album. Yeah. Also, too, you saw who Juan Soto's gonna he got offers from, right?
I saw the Yankees,
Dodgers. Dodgers. That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah,
That's right. I'm
yeah.
telling you right now. Juan Soto is coming to LA. I promise you, he's coming to LA. I
If you
promise you.
believe so, man.
You don't like seriously. You don't think we have the money for it?
I just don't think he wants to come to LA.
Why would he not want to come to a team that just won the World Series? He already played in San Diego. Why would he not want to come to LA?
If he ever came to LA, it'll be another Manny Machado situation. He'd be there for
Oh
half a
yeah,
year.
for sure, for sure, for
And
sure, for sure,
skedaddle.
for sure. Because there's no way in the world, respect to you, Juan Soto. There's no way in the world that you're gonna be getting the same amount of money as Shohei. Shohei's up here, and you're like right here. So, we'll see. But with all that being said, man, I think that's gonna do it. It's been a solid episode. I feel like we talked about a lot. We talked about
Good
a little
little
bit about
hat.
we talked a little bit about like what's going on with the Trump presidency and stuff like that. We talked a little bit about, the Commanders, Saints, sports, all that stuff. Talked about the state of Temple football and everything like that with NIL. Yeah, I feel like that's everything. The only thing I will say is before, we conclude and everything like that is just a reminder for people, what I'm trying to do in the spring, live episode. You're going to be seeing people like me. You're going to be seeing people like Jay, Quango, stuff like that. Live in person, doing episodes, stuff like that. It's going to be fun. I'm trying to get musical, artists and stuff. So if you do music, if you like to rap, sing, spoken words, stuff like that, if you want to come on and do your thing, come on, man. And just show out and just do your thing and perform. It's going to be a real fun event. Jay, isn't it going to be a fun event, man?
Hey, I'm ready. I'm excited. I'm excited, man. We got to promote this a lot. We got to get it out there.
For sure. That's the plan. But it's going to be a real fun event. Obviously, because we're not it's going to be a free event too. It's going to be on Temple. It's going to be on Temple's campus, but it's going to be a real fun event for you guys. We've been talking about this for the past couple of months, and if you've been following the page and everything like that, you've been seeing my post about that. But also too, a couple of days ago, I posted a Google form. So if you want to fill that out, if you want to perform, I'm going to continue to post that more
Link
and
in
more.
bio.
Yeah, link in bio. But I'm going to continue to post that. So if you want to perform, you just fill out that thing right there. Say what you want to do at the, live episode, whatever. And we'll get you, squared away and everything like that. As soon as the event gets closer in time and stuff like that. So make sure you guys continue to follow, YB Pod for more updates.
Yes,
Continue
sir.
to
Yes,
follow.
sir.
We definitely have merch and stuff coming soon like that. We probably gonna have some before the live episode for sure. We will have some before
We
the
gonna
live
be merged
episode.
up in the live app. Hold up.
We may have to. Especially with wintertime coming up, we may have some skull caps for you guys as well. But yeah, we got a lot of stuff on the way for the podcast, man. A lot of stuff on the way. It's been a long time coming. So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm stoked for it as always, man. Thank you guys, and also too, we were supposed to do this. This is technically our 53rd episode, but we're still gonna have a 50th episode celebration. We didn't get a chance to do it, but Jay, just real quick, man, before we go, what has been your favorite memory, or just with the podcast?
Oh
and stuff
my
like that,
goodness.
man?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I've been on so many episodes. One I vividly remember, it was you, me, Aiden, and I think Quango was on it too.
Yeah.
And it was just blasphemy going on. It was just a lot of talk, a lot of this, a lot of that. I remember Quango said the Spurs are going to be the number one seed in the West, and mentioned how the Thunder was going to be the last seed
Yeah,
in the
no,
West.
I remember that.
And I believe the opposite happened. The opposite happened.
Yeah, definitely.
The Spurs were last, and the Thunder were first, and it was just we came back and rubbed it in his face. It was just it was very. It was one of those takes. It was just one of those takes.
I think my favorite couple of episodes that we had so far. Obviously, the one where I had to make the bet about the Saints jersey, the Eagles jersey. That one's has a solid place in my heart because I remember the next day I had to wear it and everybody was talking trash about it. So that was cool. The one that Quingo said that Chris Paul has better handles than AI. That one was funny. It still is one of the craziest takes he's had on the show. What else? I'm trying to think. It's been a lot of fun episodes. Probably the first one in the studios was definitely a special one. We're definitely gonna, do some more episodes there for sure coming soon. We'll see. But there's definitely gonna be a lot more people we're gonna get on too. I don't know when the Commanders and the Eagles play again. But we're definitely gonna have Jalen back on for that with AI too.
It's in 3 weeks.
Okay, so we're definitely
Oh no,
having
no, hold on. Yeah, 3 weeks, 3 weeks,
we're
3 weeks.
definitely having you and AI on that episode because especially after the little wager y'all had before the first one, we definitely
I
got
don't
to
want
have
to
you
talk
on.
about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
But
By that time, we're gonna be healthy. So that's all I'm gonna say.
all right, but yeah, as always though, we appreciate you guys for showing love for us for 50 episodes, man. We just reached, last time I checked, we had 1,100 plays, man. Obviously for
Mm.
podcasts that just reached 1,000 and stuff over the summer, man. Towards the end of the summer, that's huge, man. So continue to show us love and support. So you just really appreciate it, man, and just really continue sticking with us. So thank you. That being said, man, thank you guys for tuning in. New episode should probably drop around tomorrow, around 12ish. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for showing love. Jalen, any last words?
Unheralded in the bio. Everything in the bio.
Yeah, make
YouTube,
sure
Spotify.
too, y'all show love to 54 Points, man. My boy Chris, man. Other member of Inherited Media. But he's doing his thing over there at 54 Points, man. He just reached, not long ago, 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. But he's doing his thing, man. He's been dropping good basketball content. I'll put that link in the bio as well, man. Shout out to you, Chris. Shout out to everyone, man, who's doing their thing. Make sure y'all sign up for the YB Pod Live episode. Thank y'all for tuning in. We'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.